Good morning. Today's Monday. A lot of news this week, but today's clear. So I think we got like Fed rate announcement this week, non-farm payrolls, job openings. So today's clear. So today I'm bullish based on just previous market structure. We created a new week opening gap, which we just closed on the S&P and are almost closing on the NASDAQ. So we'll see what happens. What I'm looking for, or my game plan for today, was to see London lows get taken out, and then possibly even these lows, and then a move upward around 10, which I would try to capture. If it happens sooner, it happens sooner. I'm just going to wait for the market structure to tell me when to enter if it hits my set of checklist. So market is about to open soon. I didn't post this, but Friday I had a tough time. I took a $500 loss. I didn't upload it because I missed a trade in the morning, got FOMO, came back in the afternoon, and then I ended up taking a trade and losing. So I just broke my plan that day. It was late, didn't want to upload it, but had a tough, I was mentally not there, so I learned my lesson there. So today we're clear-headed, some meditation, some prayer. So we're clear, had some breakfast, some tea. Alright guys, so as you guys saw, I'm in this trade right now. We were in bullish market structure, respected this 0.5 level and bounced up. That to me is a strong reaction. I want to see it close above this right here to confirm, and then maybe do a fair value gap upwards into this area. So we'll see what happens. Put my take profit at a little bit above London highs. There's an order block right here, so I'm actually going to put it a little bit low in case it decides to not hit it in reverse. But we'll see what happens. Take profit level 1. These are all kind of close together, so I could just see it swiping all those there. There we got a short-term high, short-term low, short-term high. See what market structure does. 1 trade per day, so if I lose this, I'm done, and I will upload it because it's in the morning and we are learning. Not a good sign once it hit the high and then it came and sell down, because it could sell down, grab some liquidity, come back up. I didn't really like this liquidity grab down here, but we'll see what happens. Just hold it through. I don't close early. See the stop loss with TP. That's it. It wasn't really like an A+ setup. This was kind of like maybe a B trade. I want to close early, guys, but that was one of my mistakes back in the day. And you won't learn if you close early, right? Trust your bias. Trust your checklist. Let the trade play out. Every trade, you make a mistake, you fix the mistake, you never do it again. It's all about building the good habits. Because the good thing about this is, whether I lose or win, I know I'm going to learn something. And that lesson will help me make better decisions next time to hopefully hit more green trades. 10 a.m. candle is coming soon. That kind of decides where it wants to go for the next little bit. So, and it's tough too, because I'm not doing mini contracts or I'm not doing micro contracts, sorry. So like I can't take partial profits. I only have 2 contracts. Like I don't want to sell 1 right now when I'm in profit, which I would if I was on the other. The good news is I see a little fair value gap right here, which this candle right here just hit, move right there into this green box for value gap and respected it, so that's a good sign. So as we can see, we got a break of structure right here, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we just keep going. And then the low on this hit a fair value gap and respected. So just want to see like a fair value gap going upwards, because that to me confirms like pretty much the trade. But I'm keeping my stop. Usually, sometimes I move my stop loss like up to here, but a lot of times I've been getting stopped out, and it would hit like my original stop loss or whatever, and then go back up. So just trying to improve there. And I don't look at my P&L anymore until later on, because if I see $200, I'm like, shit, should I close right now? That's not the best sign there. The good news is this is the low right here, so if it breaks that, it's probably going to come down and stop me out. So this here will be a little decision maker, honestly. Then again, this week is non-farm payroll week, Fed interest rate decision week. So if I have like a tough week, I could probably contribute it to that if I see that pattern happen over time as well. So just things to take note. This is the lower low, which is still above this one here. So we're still maintaining bullish structure. And also the good sign is this fair value gap is being maintained. No bodies below it. The wicks are getting bought up quickly. And here we're having a good little move up. Potential fair value gap. Inverted this fair value gap on the downside here. So if it closes above this, good sign. So that's a good sign already. So that's why we're patient. Still holding the market structure. It's kind of been for a while. Like I said, this trade is at 1.74. I see a lot of people saying you can get rich off a one-on-one, but I don't really want to go against my plan. Maybe I'll sell like, I don't want to go against my plan. Like I said, I don't think it's good. So we're just going to be patient, guys. We're just going to be patient and ride it out. Short-term high, short-term low, short-term high, short-term low, short-term high. So that's a low short-term high, which is, it's a low low. It's a high high, it's bearish, so it could go down the hill. But then again, it's a 1 minute time frame, so like you use it as a precaution, but it doesn't mean it's always true. Especially if this candle just created a new high, so that still sparks hope. But dude, like if it's not going to be making any big moves up by like, I mean, it's only 10, so by like 11, if we're still consolidating, I'll probably just close. Because I want that confirmation pretty quick, at least one way or the other, you know. S&P fair value gap right here, which is a good sign. How's 5 minutes looking, guys? 5 minutes is still pretty bullish. Fair value gap moving upwards. Market structure looking good on the 5 minute here. 15 minute little fair value gap here. Big moves upward. Little break of structure right here. High, low, high. It's probably going to come down and then come back up, or it could just fucking rip, right? Basically constantly before the trade, constantly throughout the trade, you're just evaluating. Just straight up evaluating and seeing what your best option is. I'm not a pro, I'm letting you guys know. I've been doing this 3 months, but I studied my fucking brains out. And I feel like I studied the right things and I'm taking the correct advice the right way. So it's a bad sign that this candle here did not close above this one. Which I do want to see, because sometimes those days, they're just not going to be big green days, you know. Those are the days you win easy, or big red days when that's your bias. You know, some days when it's like it's a little bit harder. So it's also about what kind of day you have. I wouldn't say this is an A+ setup. It just hits my checklist, so I do want to trade it. You know, we do have London highs still available. As you can see, we still have these London highs and these Asian highs. So, and it's hit sort of, it just didn't hit where I wanted it to hit. It didn't hit this low, it didn't grab any liquidity, so it did seem a little bit aggressive, and it was, I'm not gonna lie. It was 100% aggressive. So like the market needs to really just like make a fucking move. Fair value gap is gone. The lows are still getting higher, which is a good sign, but it's also a sign that it's probably just building some liquidity to fucking just go down and grab all this shit, come down probably even more, grab that shit, and then bounce off of this green up tomorrow, right? Which could be another situation, because right now it's taking a shit. Shit. That's looking tough, guys. That's looking tough. Closes below this. It's a low-key a break of structure to the downside. I should probably close if it comes back up. No. We don't close early, guys. We don't close early. Okay? It's not what we do. Like I said, it's either stop loss or take profit. That's it. That's my trading plan. You don't want to get your emotions too caught up into it. You guys saw twice where I almost fucked up. And that's like the beginner part of you that wants to do that, you know? And it's like, oh yeah, right? I wouldn't, say it goes back down, stops me. Oh, I would have been smart to close out here. Yeah, but what if it fucking goes up here and it's like, fuck, I knew it we went up. That's happened to me and it sucks. So I'd rather take the stop loss, because probability wise, like I know if I lose 1,000 but I make 2,000 and I win more than I lose, that's profitability. And in order to actually hit those, you got to follow your plan, right? It's just moving so slow. I guess this is like what happens days before big news events. Like the market just doesn't know. So like it could probably just, you know, come back down, consolidate a little bit. Could just be a small little retracement up on a bigger scheme downward instead of a whole last reversal. So that's also the case, but I'm aggressive like a motherfucker. The fake outs on these 1 minute time frames is just brutal, guys. So as soon as you enter the trade, just, I guess, chill the fuck out. So in order for you to not close early and do that, it's basically just don't overanalyze after you trade. So if it hits your checklist and your bias, enter the trade and I guess just wait. I know some people like wait for a move to either go majorly downward or majorly upward. And if you want to trail your stop loss and manage it that way, go ahead. But for me right now, it's kind of just consolidating. So I'm going to wait for a big move one way or the other. High, lower low, lower high. I should probably exit, but I'm not going to. I think it's my trading plan, at least for right now. I'm trying to be less micromanageable, even though right now I'm kind of seeing a break to the downside a little bit, bearish SMT, but you gotta be careful not to overanalyze. So, especially after the trade. Maybe as I get better, I will, but not right now. Yeah, still a little bearish. So, hit the fair value gap and it's coming down and it's 1020, so it's probably, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, figured maybe I should have closed early, but it is what it is. It kind of gave me the signs right there, which you guys saw. So we'll just journal that and maybe next time close early if it doesn't go my way right away, because it was though, but it was like barely holding on, right? Yeah, okay, we're out. Alright guys, fuck, I don't want to look at the P&L. It's probably like shit, guys. Alright, for you guys, let's get ready for this pain. Fuck. Alright, 1,300. Damn. See? That's just the way it goes. Alright. That's it for today, 10:22. Figured that 10 a.m. was going to be the bearish move downward. Sort of figured that, kind of called that, but yeah. Alright guys, so I just journaled the trade a little bit. Just wanted to, you know, make sure that we turn this loss into a W, right? So basically what went wrong in the trade, it wasn't an A+ setup of mine. You guys saw as I was trading it, I wasn't completely confident. What I was looking for was it to take these lows and then bounce off a higher time frame fair value gap or order block, which it didn't do. So it wasn't really A+. I probably shouldn't have traded this. From the only manipulation we saw to the downside was pre-market. I wanted to see more, so the manipulation was up here and then down to grab some liquidity. So maybe today just isn't a crazy good AM day. But yes, a couple things. You know, I kind of had a pretty bad sleep last night. You know, Friday, Saturday, smoked a little weed and stuff. So you know, didn't get good sleep those 2 days. So if you like smoke weed for 2 nights in a row, the next day you're gonna have trouble sleeping. That's just how it is. So that was last night. So kind of a bad sleep. So I'm feeling a little out of it. But yeah, so that was also a case. So I gotta make sure I fix that. So sober 100% of the time, consistent sleep schedule. Right, my trade here did not align. It aligned with my macro, like long-term trend, you know, weekly, daily. But the 1 hour and 4 hour, as we could see here, 4 hour was coming down, and there was really nothing for it to bounce off of, which is why I wanted to see if the fair value gap, or at least this order block, or at least hit this equilibrium, which it did. But then you want to see the next candle push up, right, which it didn't do, and it's a bigger time frame. So today probably it just wasn't an A+ setup on the 4 hour, also the 1 hour. you know, at 6 the fair value gap downwards, and then it retraced in here and then came back down. It's not an A+ setup. No major liquidity has been swept. I mean, besides London lows, but wanting to see more, honestly, like at least these, because usually that's when it grabs a lot of liquidity, that's when you expect a big move. But when it's just one, you know, sometimes it doesn't as much. So especially there's no fair value gap here, but it's looking pretty consolidated. Unfortunately, that's just the day it is today. Yeah, I mean, wasn't 100% confident, you know, as time went on in this trade, like it would go my way and then it wouldn't, and then it would here, or at one point when it created a lower low and it closed below this and then a lower high, right? Like you guys saw, like once you see that, it's kind of the trend changing. So next time I see that in the middle of my trade after I enter and it does that, I'll probably close the trade. You guys saw me, like I should have closed the trade, but I told myself I wouldn't. But if there's a case of a break of structure like that, you kind of have to. Like this right here is the break of structure, right? And especially since it failed to close above that new high, that's two confluences that I should have known, but I'll do next time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The account right now is at 97,991. If it gets below, I think it's 97,000, then the account gets banned, or not banned, but like blown or whatever. So I'll have to pay $100 for a new account, which is whatever. So next week we'll just risk, or tomorrow we'll risk $991, and it's a loss and then we get a new account, or it's a win and we keep going. But yeah, I upped my risk size this week, which is why the loss is bigger. Last week I was risking like 500. This week I'm risking 1,000, which in this case 1,200. So I think it kind of got messed up there. So I might go back to micros so I can have more to play with and be more accurate and more room to move my stop loss. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the journal, that's the trade. Don't really go in depth on my wins like this. Like in the losses, like 100% you have to. So yeah. All right, see you guys.